to be quite frank, self-defense was evident from the very beginning, no?
Certainly not. Kyle Rittenhouse should not have been charged. All of the evidence is on his side. None of the evidence is on the side of the prosecution, which is why this prosecutor in the case has seemed like a character from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's just humiliated himself more and more every single step of the way. But don't forget, Chris, there are two trials going on right now. There is the trial in the court of law, and there is the trial in the court of public opinion. In the court of law, all of the evidence is on the side of Kyle Rittenhouse. In the court of public opinion, which is mostly full of lies and fabrications and massive distortions, the evidence is on the side of the state and against Kyle Rittenhouse. And we're about to see which carries more weight in our political system, the law or the fake news media.
Yeah, Curtis, I was going to say that the impression that the people have is as a result of left-wing media out there and all of their, as you rightly point out, their lies. During closing arguments yesterday, speaking of the prosecutor, Thomas Binger had this to say on the defendant's claim of self-defense. Watch this.
When the defendant provokes the incident, he loses the right to self-defense. You cannot claim self-defense against a danger you create. That's critical right here. If you're the one who is threatening others, you lose the right to claim self-defense.
Michael, my jaw dropped when I heard this. This prosecutor just laid down the predicate that if you happen to bring a firearm to protect yourself, which is a lawful act, from a riot, which is an unlawful act, then you lose your right to defend yourself. Now, I've said this throughout our coverage of this. Americans' right to defend ourselves from left-wing nut jobs is on trial here, no?
Well, the prosecution's premise is ridiculous because Kyle Rittenhouse didn't provoke anything, as the evidence has shown decisively. He was under imminent threat in every single case of him defending himself. But also, it sounds like this prosecutor is suggesting that Kyle Rittenhouse was asking for it. You know, that shirt was awful short, Kyle. You shouldn't have been in that situation. Knowing what we know from this case, knowing that Kyle did not provoke or incite anything, he was merely defending himself. If the principle holds true that if you ever arm yourself, if you exercise your Second Amendment rights to keep and bear arms, that you no longer have the right to self-defense, then there is no such thing as a right to self-defense in the United States. And the prosecutor is either extraordinarily stupid or he's being disingenuous here. And frankly, having watched the trial, I'm not sure which one it is.
Yeah, I had some women call up the radio show saying, man, I hope this guy is never prosecuting in a rape case because he'd be the one blaming the rape victims for being attacked. You know, that dress was a little too short for you there, lady. Joe Biden held his virtual meeting with Communist China's dictator Xi Jinping last night. Biden and his family, you know, have held pretty close ties with the communist regime over the years. But Biden, for all of his Democrat politics, has pretended he's not been an admirer of this dictator, but Xi outed him yesterday. Listen.
Let's get something straight. We know each other well. We're not old friends. It's just pure business.
I'm very happy to see my old friend.
Michael, Biden's obvious affections for the inhuman dictator might be why Biden didn't bring up the origins of the China virus, a virus that has harmed America so badly. What's your read on this?
Well, you've got to give Xi credit here. I thought Putin was the greatest troll on the world stage, but I think Xi might be giving him a run for his money. And by the way, Xi is being genuine here. He and Biden actually do go back a long way. Biden has said for decades now that a rising China is good for everybody. It's good to let China into the World Trade Organization. It's good to support the rise of China's economy, even if it costs American jobs and American security. And he obviously got that wrong. So now he's trying to run away from his decades of positions on China, and Xi is not letting him do it. And I think it's important that Xi not let him do it because we got to know where Biden actually stands and how he helped get us into this mess in the first place.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV because we're real news for real people.